Hallelujah, hallelujah. Shabbat shalom. Peace and love. Peace and love. Shabbat shalom. I'll be reading from the book of Jeremiah, chapters 10, I believe chapter 10 through 14. Let me check. I don't know why I always gotta check. Yeah, chapter 10 through 14. Chapter 10 through 14. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 through 14. Bear with me as I try to get through this, y'all willing. Book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1. Hear the word which Yahuwah speaks to you, O house of Yisrael. Verse 2. Thus said Yahuwah, do not learn the way of the nations, and do not be awed by the signs of the heavens, for the nations are awed by them. So what this is talking about, you know, he's telling you basically this is the Most High speaking through Jeremiah, saying, "Don't be at all like basically don't be fascinated with the signs of the heavens." Like, and this could very well be speaking about astrology, zodiac, all that. You know what I mean? Don't be fascinated by the signs of the heavens, zodiac, astrology. This is what God is speaking through Jeremiah, you know, and he's saying that the nations, the non-believers, the non-believers are the ones fascinated with the signs of the heavens. So it says, you know, thus said Yahuwah. So this is God speaking through Jeremiah. Do not learn the way of the nation. Don't learn it. Don't even learn. Don't even learn what that means. Don't even learn what the zodiac and all that means. Don't even learn what the astrology and all that stuff means, the horoscope and all that means. Don't even learn that stuff. This is what he's saying. Do not learn the way of the nations, and do not be awed, meaning fascinated by the signs of the heavens. For the nations are awed by them. The nations are fascinated by them. We're not to be fascinated by the signs of the heavens, which is the zodiac, the astrology, the horoscope, the, you know, the going to the so-called moon and space and all that. Don't even get into that. That's a whole nother thing to get into. Verse 3. For the laws of these peoples are worthless. For the laws of these peoples are worthless. The laws of these peoples are worthless. For one cuts a tree from the forest, work for the hands of a craftsman with a cutting tool. Verse 4, they beautify it with silver and gold. They beautify it with silver and gold. They strengthen it with nails and hammer, so that it does not topple. Sounds familiar? Sounds familiar? Verse 5, they are like a rounded post. They are like a rounded post, and they do not speak. They have to be carried. They have to be carried. They do not speak. These trees don't speak. These trees the trees that they stand up in their homes, they don't speak. They have to be carried. Because they do not walk, do not be afraid of them, for they do no evil, for is it in them to do any good? Do not be afraid of them, for they do no evil, nor is it in them to do good. So this this is basically explaining how we're not to look at it as it's you're not to look at these Christmas trees. This is the only example in that, that we have is the script. It's the only modern example we have of this scripture is a Christmas tree. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, in verse 3 to in verses 3 to 5 is describing what we know today as a Christmas tree. And what is it what the most high is saying through Jeremiah is like, yo, at this time, people were setting up these Christmas trees to appear to be, you know, like deities to worship. They were setting up these Christmas trees to appear to be, gods or whatever. And he's saying like, yo, don't be afraid of them, for they do no evil. So he's saying that they do no evil, like meaning they're it's it's not necessarily I mean, he already addressed in the beginning how, you know, we're not to do the ways of the nations. And this is clearly the way of the nation. So I guess you could take that as saying not to even do it. But he's basically saying they do no evil. Like they do no evil, nor is it in them to do any good. They do nothing. They can do nothing for you. They can do nothing to you and do nothing for you. These Christmas trees. Let's keep reading. Verse 6, there is none like you, O Yahuwah. You are great, and great is your name in might. Verse 7, who would not fear you, O sovereign of the nations? For this is your due. For among all the wise men of the nations and in all their reigns, there is none like you. There is none like you. Verse 8, they are both brutish and foolish, and instruction of worthlessness is the tree. Instruction of worthlessness is the tree. So basically, what I'm getting out of it is that the Christmas tree is worthlessness. The whole event, the whole day of Christmas is worthlessness, is what these verses is given. What Jeremiah chapter 10 from verse 3 to where we are in verse 8. What I'm getting from it is that whole Christmas celebration is worthlessness. The Bible is telling us that this Christmas day is worthlessness. It's not a day that he he asks us to do that, to cut trees down, stand them up in our homes. It's not a day that he, it's not a tradition that he want us to put any importance in. If he did, he wouldn't say the tree, the instructions of worthlessness is the tree. He wouldn't say that what you involve the tree in, you know, is worthlessness, is worthless. So everything involving the tree on that day is worthlessness. Is what the scripture is what God is telling us through Jeremiah. Verse 9. Let's keep reading. Let's keep reading. Because this is what is given. The whole day. Just throw out the whole day. Verse 9. Silver is beaten into plates. It is brought from Tarshish, and gold from Uphaz. The work of the craftsman and of the hands of the smith, draped in blue and purple. All of them are the work of skilled ones. Let's keep reading. Verse 10. But Yahuwah is truly Elohim. He is the living Elohim and the everlasting sovereign. At his wrath, the earth shakes, and nations are unable to stand his displeasure. Verse 11. Say to them this: the Allah that did not make the heavens and the earth shall perish from the earth and from under these heavens. The Allah. So the Allah is pretty much Aramaic for mighty one. Allah is Aramaic for mighty one, and what he's saying is what God is saying through Jeremiah is saying the Allah, the mighty one, the God that did not make the heavens and the earth. The God that did not make the heavens and the earth shall perish from the earth and from under these heavens. This is what this is saying. The God that did not make the heavens of the earth. I'm sorry, the heavens and the earth. It says, but it reads in my scriptures, the Allah. The Allah. Now, this is Aramaic, the Aramaic terminology for God or the mighty one. So what it's saying is the Allah that did not make the heavens and the earth shall perish from from the earth and from under these heavens. So not only did it disqualify it as being the maker of the heavens and the earth, then not only did the Most High disqualify the Allah, the Allah from being a creator of the heavens and the earth. Not only did it disqualify, not only did the mighty one, the Most High, disqualify it from being the creator of the heaven and the earth, but it disqualified it from even being above the heavens. It disqualified it from even being above the heavens because it's saying like, yo, it's going to perish from the earth and from under the heavens. like, like you can't even speak it in the same breath of it being up here with me. You can't speak this Allah in the same breath of it being up here with me. That's what the Most High is saying through Jeremiah. Let's keep reading. Verse 12. But I gotta mark that because that's, yeah, that's a good verse. Verse 12. He has made the earth by his power. He has established the world by his wisdom and has stretched out the heavens by his understanding. Verse 13, when he makes his voice heard, there is a roaring of waters in the heavens. When he makes his voice heard, there is a roaring of waters in the heavens. I wonder how many people hears that and be like, what was that? And he makes vapors rise from the ends of the earth. Vapors. Interesting. He makes vapors rise from the ends of the earth. The lightning for rain he has made. Now the lightning, come on, man. This is breaking down a lot of what man is not capable of doing. Now man can make, electricity look like it's lightning, but it's not lightning. Now I get the stories about, oh, they can do this into the sky and make it do that. They can't make it. They probably all they're probably doing is upsetting the Most High for him to do it. Just a thought. The lightning for rain he has made and brings wind. Here we go. Wind and lightning. So he has made and brings wind from his treasury. So wind and lightning, vapors and roaring of waters in the heavens. No one is touching that. No man is touching that. The waters, what they call the firmament, those waters, when you look up in a clear sky and see blue, that's water. So no one's touching that water up there. You can touch this water down here. You can't touch that water up there. So that disqualified everyone under that water. Only the creator of that water up there can touch it and make it roar. The vapors of the ends of the earth. The ends of the earth, no one can touch it. Who's touching that? The lightning. Who's creating that? The wind. Who's creating that? You can make artificial wind and artificial lightning. You can't make the real lightning. You can't make the real wind. I'm just saying. These are all four wonders of the Most High that no man is touching. No man can create, or no false deity can create. Verse 14, everyone is brutish in knowledge. Every smith is put to shame by his idol, for his molded image is falsehood, and there is no spirit in them. So it's falsehood. Here we go. In the same chapter, where it's discrediting the tree and everything involved with the Christmas tree as worthlessness, here it is speaking of it as falsehood. So not only is it worthlessness this Christmas, this day of Christmas, because we're gonna we that's the only modern example we have of this Christmas tree, this tree that's being described in the chapter 10 of Jeremiah is Christmas tree on this day. So not only everything involved with this tree is worthlessness, but it's falsehood. It's falsehood to believe that this is his day, or the day of his only begotten son, or the birthday of his only begotten son. It's not. That's falsehood. So everyone is brutish in their knowledge, brutish. Every smith is put to shame by his idols, for his molded image is falsehood, and there is no spirit in them. So when people try to say that, this is a spiritual celebration, it's for the spirit of the Son of God, and it's no spirit in the day of Christmas. It's no spirit in the day of Christmas. It's no spirit in it. It's no spirit in the the instructions to, you know put up a tree. It's no spirit in, the falsehood of it. It's falsehood. And then here it's saying it's no spirit in them. It's no spirit in them, meaning the trees, the molded images, the idols. Let's keep reading. Verse 15. They are worthless. They are worthless. They are worthless. A work of mockery. A work of mockery. Who is it mocking? It's mocking the only begotten Son of God, because it's saying that it's his birthday. It's a celebration for his birthday, and it's not. So it's really a mockery of the only begotten Son of God, because it's saying it's his birthday when it's not. And it's saying we should do this on his birthday, and it never no one nowhere in here says to do that. In the time of their punishment they perished. Verse 16, the portion of Jacob is not like these, for he is the maker of all, and Yisrael is the tribe of his inheritance. So this is what separates the Most High from all so-called God. He's the maker of all. He is the maker of all. He is the maker of all. He is the maker of all, right? And Yisrael is the tribe of his inheritance. Yisrael is the tribe of his inheritance. He's the maker of all, but Yisrael is the tribe of his inheritance. He's the maker of all people, but Yisrael is the tribe of his inheritance. Yahuwah of hosts is his name. Yahuwah of hosts is his name. Verse 17, gather up your bundle from the ground, you who live under siege. Verse 18, for thus said Yahuwah, see, at this time I am hurling out the inhabitants of the land, and shall distress them, so that they feel it. Verse 19, woe to me for my breaking, my wound is grievous, but I say, this is my sickness, and I bear it. Verse 20, my tent has been ravaged, and all my cords have been broken. My children have gone from me, and they are no more. There is no one to pitch my tent any more, or to set up my curtains. Verse 21, for the shepherd have become brutish, and they have not sought Yahuwah. Therefore they did not understand, and all their flock scattered. Verse 22, see, it has come, the voice of a report, and a great shaking out of the land of the north, to make the cities of Yehuda a waste, a habitation of jackals. Verse 23, O Yahuwah, I know the way of man is not in himself. The way of man is not in himself. And that's in his flesh, in his own flesh. The way of man is not in the flesh. This is what they're saying. It is not for man who walks to direct his own steps. Talking about the flesh. The flesh wants to go crash out. The flesh wants to go act a fool. The flesh wants to go, you know, do evil, do wickedness. This is what each of our flesh wants to go do. Is take pleasure in whatever the flesh takes pleasure in. So this is what this was referring to. I know the way of man is not in himself, meaning the flesh. The way It is not for man who walks to direct his own steps. Verse 24, O Yahuwah, chastise me, but with right ruling, not in your displeasure, lest you bring me to naught. Bring me to nothing, bring me to naught, bring me to nothing. Verse 25, pour out your wrath on the nations who do not know you, and on the tribes who do not call on you. Basically, I'm sorry, pour out your wrath on the nations who do not know you, and on the tribes who do not call on your name. On the tribes who do not call on your name, pour out your wrath on those who don't know you because they don't do your instructions. They don't follow your instructions. Only those who know him follow his instructions. Only those who call on his name follow his instructions. For they have eaten up Jacob, devoured him, and consumed him, and laid waste his home. Chapter 11, verse 1. The word that came to Jeremiah from Yahuwah, saying, so this is from Yahuwah, from God. This word that Jeremiah speaks is from God, saying, verse 2, hear the words of this covenant, and speak to the men of Yehudah, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Verse 3, and you shall say to them, thus said Yahuwah, Elohim of Yisrael, cursed is the man who does not obey the words of this covenant. Cursed, cursed is the man who does not obey the words of this covenant. Verse 4, which I commanded your fathers, in the day when I brought them out of the land of Mizraim. Oh, so he's getting specific. So, yeah, what other commands and what other fathers and what other people was brought out of Mizraim? He's clearly talking about his commands that was given to Moses, not what Moses gave. This was the commands given from God to Moses. From the iron furnace, saying, obey my voice, and you should do according to all that I command. You should do. You should do all that I command. All that I command you. And you shall be my people, and I be your Elohim. That's the only way for you to be his people. That's the only way. And that's the only way for him to be your God, is to do his commandments. You can't he's not your God if you're not doing his commandments, is what he's saying. But that's a touchy topic. Verse 5. In order to establish the oath which I have sworn to your fathers to give them a land flowing with milk and honey, as it is this day, and I answered and said, Amen, Yahuwah. Amen. This was the purpose. So not only are you cursed if you do not obey the words of this covenant, which he commanded, not only are you cursed, but you he's saying like this is like he's not you're not his people if you're not doing his commands. You're not he's not your God if you're not doing his commands. This is what God is saying. This is what God said through Jeremiah. Verse 6, and Yahuwah said to me, proclaim all these words in the cities of Yehuda and in the streets of Jerusalem, saying, hear the words of this covenant and do them. Verse 7, for I earnestly warned your fathers in the day that I brought them up out of the land of Mizraim until this day, rising early and warning, saying, obey my voice. Obey my voice. Verse 8, but they did not obey. But they did not obey. So not only are people not obeying today, they didn't obey then. But they did not obey or incline their ear. But everyone walked in stubbornness. Everyone walked in stubbornness of his evil heart. So this is the same what this is what people are doing today, walking in stubbornness of their evil hearts. It's what they did in the past, walk in stubbornness in their evil hearts. And this is what they're doing today, walking in stubbornness in their evil hearts. The hearts of the flesh is evil. It wants what it wants. It desires what it desires. It craves what it craves. So I brought on them all the words of the covenant which I commanded them to do, and they did not do. They did not do. Verse 9, and Yahuwah said to me, there is a conspiracy among the men of Yehuda. There is a conspiracy among the men of Yehuda and among the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Interesting. Interesting. Verse 10, they have turned back to the crookedness of their forefathers. Who refused to hear my words. And they have gone after other mighty ones to serve them. The house of Yisrael and the house of Yehuda have broken my covenant I made with their fathers. Verse 11, therefore thus said Yahuwah, see, I am bringing evil on them, which they are unable to escape. They shall cry out to me, but I shall not listen to them. So therefore he is bringing evil on them. They are not, they are unable to escape. They shall cry, but I shall not listen. Pay attention. This may be why we can't get answers today. We can't get help in, divine intervention. Verse 12, and the cities of Yehuda and the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall go and cry out to the mighty ones to whom they burnt incense, but they shall bring no deliverance to them at all in the time of their evil. Verse 13, for your mighty ones have become as many as your cities, O Yehuda, and you have set up as many slaughter places to shame as there are streets in Jerusalem, slaughter places to burn incense to Baal, to Baal. Verse 14, and you do not pray for this people or lift up a cry for them. Here it is where God is telling you not to pray for these people. A lot of people ask, "Can you pray for me?" What if God told you not to pray for them? It's just a thought. What if the Most High said not to pray for me? This is what He's saying here. Those who worship other gods and those who don't do His commands and those who don't, you know, follow His instructions, do not pray for this people or lift up a cry or prayer for them. For I do not hear them. For I do not hear them in the time that they cry out to me because of their evil, because of their evil, because of their evil. So if someone is in their evil and they're continuing in their evil and they're asking you to pray for them, you got to let them know like he's not going to hear me because of your evil. Simple as that. So if somebody asks you to pray for them and they're still continuing in their evil and whatever as far as worshiping other like false gods and worshiping falsehood, worshiping false gods, and they ask you to pray for them, you this would be your reason not to because it's like God is not going to hear your prayer for them because they're continuing in their evil. This is what the book of Jeremiah, chapter 11, verse 14, is explaining. And you do not pray for this people or lift up a cry or prayer for them, for I do not hear them in the time that they cry out to me because of their evil. Verse 15, why should my beloved be in my house? She has done wickedness with many, and does the set apart flesh remove your evil? And does the set apart flesh remove your evil from you? Then you rejoice. Let's keep reading. Verse 16. Yahuwah has named you green olive tree, beautiful, goodly fruit. With the noise of a great sound, he has set it on fire, and its branches shall be broken. Verse 17. And Yahuwah of hosts, who planted you, has spoken evil against you for the evil of the house of Israel and of the house of Yehuda, which they have done against themselves to provoke me, by burning incense to Baal. So this is done to provoke the Most High. This is done to provoke God, like the true God, the true living God. Verse 18, and Yahuwah made it known to me, and I know it. Then you should then you showed me their deeds. Verse 19, but I was like a gentle lamb brought to the slaughter, and I did not know that they had plotted against me, saying, let us destroy the tree with its fruit. and let us cut him off from the land of the living, and let his name be remembered no more. Hmm, like a gentle lamb. Sounds familiar? Verse 20, but O Yahuwah of hosts, who judges righteously, who tries kidneys and heart, who tries kidneys and heart, let me see your vengeance upon them, for unto you I have revealed my cause. Verse 21, therefore, thus said Yahuwah concerning the men of Anathoth who are seeking your life, saying, do not prophesy in the name of Yahuwah, lest you die by our hand. Verse 22, therefore, thus said Yahuwah of hosts, see, I am punishing them. The young men shall die by the sword, their sons and their daughters shall die by scarcity of food. By the sword and by scarcity of food. I wonder what that people is, who that people is, who has been unalive by the sword and by scarcity of food. Verse 23, and there shall be no remnant of them, for I bring evil on the men of Anathoth in the year of their punishment. So this is for them, not wanting prophecy in the name of Yahuwah. Chapter 12, verse 1. Righteous are you, O Yahuwah. Righteous are you, O Yahuwah, when I plead with you. Indeed, let me speak with you about right ruling. Why has the way of the wrong prospered? Why has the way of the wrong prospered? This is a good question by Jeremiah. Why has the way of the wrong prospered? All the workers of treachery are at ease. Is this not what we ask today? Why are the way of the wrong prospered? Why are all the workers of treachery at ease? Same questions Jeremiah had. Verse 2, you have planted them and they have taken root. They grow and they bear fruit. You are near in their mouth, but far from their kidney. Verse 3, but you have known me, O Yahuwah, you see me, and you have tried my heart toward you. Draw them away like sheep for slaughter, and separate them for the day of slaughter. Verse 4, how long shall the land mourn, and the plants of every field wither? The beasts and the birds are consumed for the evil of those who dwell there, because they said, he does not see our latter end. Verse 5, you have run with the footmen, and they have wearied you. And how do you contend with horses? And if in the land of peace you feel safe, then how do you manage in the yard and jungle? Verse 6, for even your brothers, the house of your father, even they have betrayed you. Even they have cried aloud after you. Do not believe them, even though they speak smooth words to you. even though they speak smooth words to you, they have betrayed you. Even your brothers, they have betrayed you. Verse 7, I have forsaken my house. I have forsaken my house. I have left my inheritance. I have given the beloved of my being into the hand of her enemies. Verse 8, my inheritance has become to me like a lion in the forest. It cries out against me, therefore I have hated it. Verse 9, my inheritance is to me like a speckled bird or prey. The birds of prey all around are against her. Go gather all the beasts of the field, bring them to devour. Verse 10, many shepherds have destroyed my vineyard. They have trodden my portion underfoot. They have made my pleasant portion become a deserted wilderness. Verse 11, they have laid it waste, a waste it mourns to me. All the land is laid waste because no one takes it to heart. Verse 12, the ravagers have come on all the bare heights in the wilderness. For the sword of Yahweh is devouring from one end of the land to the other end of the land. There is no peace to any flesh. There is no peace to any flesh. Verse 13, they sown wheat but reap thorns. They have exalted themselves, they do not profit, and they shall be ashamed of your harvest because of the burning displeasure of Yahuwah. Verse 14, thus said Yahuwah, as for all my evil neighbors who touch the inheritance which I have caused my people Israel to inherit. See, I am plucking them out. I am plucking them out of their land, and I shall pluck out the house of Yehuda from their midst. Verse 15, and it shall be after my plucking them out, I shall return and have compassion on them. After plucking them out, I shall return and have compassion on them and bring them back, everyone to his inheritance, everyone to his land. How about that? Verse 16, and it shall be, if they learn well the ways of my people, if they learn the ways of my people, swear by my name, as Yahuwah lives, as they taught my people to swear by Baal, then they shall be established in the midst of my people. But if they do not obey, I shall pluck them out. I'm sorry, I shall pluck up pluck up and destroy that nation, declares Yahweh. Hey man, this is God speaking. Like, who's going to argue with God? Who's going to, chapter 13. Chapter 13, verse 1. Thus said, chapter 13. Thus Yahuwah said to me, go and get yourself a linen girdle and put it on your loins, but do not put it in water. Verse 2. So I brought a girdle according to the word of Yahuwah and put it on my loins. Verse 3. And the word of Yahuwah came to me the second time, saying, verse 4. Take the girdle that you have brought, which is on your loins, and arise, go to the Euphrates, and hide it there in a hole in the rock. Verse 5. And I went and hid it by the Euphrates, as Yahuwah commanded me. Verse 6. And it came to be after many days that Yahuwah said to me, arise, go to the Euphrates, and take from there the girdle which I commanded you to hide there. Verse 7. So I went to the Euphrates and dug, and I took the girdle from the place where I had hidden it, and there was the girdle, ruined. It was completely useless. Verse 8. And the word of Yahuwah came to me, saying, verse 9. Thus said Yahuwah, thus I ruined the pride of Yehuda and the great pride of Jerusalem. Verse 10. This evil people who refuse to hear my words. It's evil people that refuse to hear my word, who walk in stubbornness of the heart, and walk after other mighty ones, to serve them, to bow themselves to them. It's like this girdle which is completely useless. Useless. Verse 11. For as the girdle clings to the loins of a man, so I have caused all the house of Israel and all the house of Yehuda to cling to me. Declares Yahuwah, to become mine for a people, and for a name, and for a praise, and for an adorning, but they did not listen. Verse 12. And you shall speak to them this word, thus said Yahuwah Elohim of Israel. Every bottle is to be filled with wine. And when they say to you, do we not know that every bottle should be filled with wine? Verse 13. Then say to them, thus said Yahuwah, see, I am filling all the inhabitants of this land, and the sovereigns who sit on the throne of Dawid, and the priests, and the prophets, and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem with drunkenness. Verse 14. And I shall dash them one against another, both the father and the sons together. declares Yahuwah. I do not spare nor pardon, nor have compassion, that I should not destroy them. Verse 15, listen and give ear. Do not be proud, for Yahuwah has spoken. Verse 16, give esteem to Yahuwah your Elohim before he brings darkness. And before your feet stumble on dark mountains, and while you are looking for light, he turns it into the shadow of death, makes it gross darkness. I don't think any of us is ready for that. Verse 17, and if you do not listen, my being shall weep in secret for your pride, and my eyes bitterly. My eyes bitterly weep and run down with tears, because the flock of Yahuwah shall be taken captive. Verse 18, say to the sovereign and to the sovereign's mother, humble yourselves, sit down for your rule. The crown of your comeliness has come down. Verse 19, the cities of the south shall be shut up, with no one to open them. Yehuda shall be taken into exile, all of it. She shall be taken into exile completely. Verse 20, lift up your eyes and see those who come from the north. Where is the flock that was given to you, your fair sheep? Verse 21, what would you say when he visits you? For you have taught them to be chiefs, to be head over you. Do not pang seize you. Do not pang seize you like a woman in labor. Verse 22, and when you say in your heart, why has this come upon me? It is because of your great crookedness, that your skirts have been uncovered, your heels made bare. Verse 23, does a Cushite change his skin, and a leopard its spots? That's an interesting verse. Does a Cushite change his skin? What color is that skin of a Cushite? And a leopard its spots. What color is those spots? It's in here. At least the spots of the leopard. And common sense is the Cushite, the skin of the Cushite. You who are taught do you who are taught to do evil are also unable to do good. You who are taught to do evil are also unable to do good. Verse 24, so I scatter them like stubble, that passes away by the wind of the wilderness. Verse 25, this is your lot. This is your lot, your measured portion from me, declares Yahuwah, because you have forgotten me, and trust in falsehood. Verse 26, I shall even draw your skirts over your face, and your shame shall be seen. Verse 27, your adulteries, your adulteries, and your names, the wickedness of your whoring, I have seen your abominations on the hills, in the fields. Woe to you, O Jerusalem! How long before you would be made clean? Chapter 14, verse 1, the word of Yahuwah that came to Jeremiah concerning the matter of droughts. Verse 2, Yahuwah has mourned, and her gates have languished. They have mourned on the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem has gone up. Verse 3, and their nobles have sent their little ones for water. They went to the cisterns and found no water. They returned with their vessels empty. They were put to shame and blushed and covered their heads. Verse 4, because the ground became cracked, for there has been no rain in the land. The, the plowmen, the plowmen were put to shame. They covered their heads. Verse 5, even the deer gave birth in the field, but left because there was no grass. Verse 6, and the wilderness donkeys stood in the bare heights. They sniffed at the wind like jackals. Their eyes have failed because there was no grass. Verse 7, O Yahuwah, though our crookedness witness against us, act for us. Though our crookedness witness against us, act for us for your name's sake. For your name's sake. For our backsliding have been many. We have sinned against you. Even Jeremiah, even in the time of Jeremiah, this is who we were. Verse 8, O expectation of Yisrael, its Savior in time of distress. Why should you be like a stranger in the land, or like a traveler who turns aside a lodge? Why should you be as one who is stunned, as a mighty man that is unable to save? Yet you, O Yahuwah, are in our midst, and your name has been called on us. Do not leave us. Verse 10, thus said Yahuwah to this people, so they have loved to wander. They have not restrained their feet. Therefore, Yahuwah has not accepted them. Now he does remember their crookedness and punish their sins. Is this not what he does? It's not what he's doing today. Verse 11, Yahuwah said to me, do not pray for this people for their good. Makes sense. Verse 12, when they fast, I do not hear their cry. And when they offer ascending offerings, when they offer ascending offerings and grain offering, I do not accept them. Instead, I am consuming them by sword and by scarcity of food and by pestilence. And by pestilence, is this not what we've been going through? Is this not what we've been going through? Consumed by weapons? consumed by scarcity of food, consumed by pestilence. Verse 13, but I said, Ah, Master Yahuwah, see, the prophets say to them, you are not to see a sword, nor have scarcity of food, for I give you true peace in this place. This is what the prophets are saying. You know, they preaching peace. They preaching that they prosperity. You know, this is what they saying while people are suffering from pestilence and scarcity of food and consumed by weapons. Verse 14, then Yahuwah said to me, the prophets prophesy falsehood. The prophets prophesy falsehood. That prosperity, nah. The prophets prophesy falsehood in my name. I have not sent them. I have not sent them, nor commanded them, nor spoken to them. They are prophesying to you a false vision, worthless divination, in the deceit of their own heart. The deceit of their own heart, because they're prophesying prosperity. They prophesying, peace when there's clearly no peace, when there's clearly no prosperity. They're prophesying it. Verse 15, therefore thus said Yahuwah concerning the prophets who prophesy in my name, whom I did not send, and who say, sword and scarcity of food shall not be in this land. So these people who are claiming that you're going to be safe, everything's going to be fine. By sword and scarcity of food, those prophets shall be consumed. By sword and scarcity of food, those prophets shall be consumed. Verse 16, and the people to whom they are prophesying shall be thrown out in the streets of Jerusalem because of the scarcity of food and the sword, with no one to bury them nor their wives, their sons, their daughters, for I shall pour their evil on them. For I shall pour their evil on them. Verse 17, and you shall say this word to them, let my eyes flow with tears night and day, and let them not cease, for the maiden daughter of my people has been crushed with a mighty blow, with a very severe wound. Verse 18, if I go out to the field, then see those slain with the sword, and if I enter the city, then see those sick for scarcity of food, for both prophet and priest go about in the land they do not know. Verse 19, have you completely rejected your Yehuda? Has your being loath Zion? Why have you stricken us so that there is no healing? That there is no healing for us. We looked for peace, but there was no good, and for the time of healing, but see, fear. Verse 20, O Yahuwah, we know our wrong and the crookedness. We know, we sure do, and the crookedness of our fathers, for we have sinned against you. Sure have. Verse 21, do not scorn us for your name's sake, for your name's sake. Do not despise the throne of your esteem. Remember, do not break your covenant with us. Verse 22. Are there among the worthless idols of the nation any causing rain? Idols, they're not doing that. And do the heavens give showers? Are you not he, O Yahuwah of Elohim? Are we and we wait for you are the one who does all this, for you are the one who does all this. No one else, nothing else. The Most High who does all of this, causes the rain. That completes the reading of this week, the Torah reading of this week. Jeremiah from chapter 10 to chapter 14. I'm gonna bless this out according to the blessing that was given. Before I do, I want to address this. It says in Isaiah 114 to 15. Someone wrote this, and I want to clarify that because I'm trying to I'm trying to understand what they meant or what their intentions were when they typed it. Chapter 14 to 15. I'm sorry, chapter 1 for verse 14 to 15. My being hates your new moons and your appointed times. They are a trouble to me. I am weary of bearing them. And when you spread out your hands, I hide my eyes from you. Even though you make many prayers, I do not hear. Your hands have become filled with blood. So, yeah. So, what this is referring to is he's not talking about the new moons that he made. He's talking about this fake New Year's. These fake New Year's, these fake New Year's that men came up with. This is what Isaiah chapter 1 is talking about. This is what, so Benjamin, that's what Isaiah was referring to, you know? And I put emphasis on the Hebrew because he's the God of the Hebrews. This is all through we see that in Exodus when he first was introduced to us, when he was making a name for himself, when the Most High was making his name known to us in the world. He addressed himself as the God of the Hebrews. He told Moses to go to them and tell them, yo, the God of the Hebrews, tell Pharaoh, the God of the Hebrews, such and such. So this is why the emphasis is put on the Hebraic language, because he's the God of the Hebrews. There's no getting around that. Even though he's a creator of all that we just read, he's a creator of all. He's the God of the Hebrews. His inheritance is Yisrael. And that's the people who follow his instructions. Those the people who obey his spiritual law. Those are the people who do his commands. So yeah, he wasn't talking about his own new moons. He's talking about these fake new years. When you see new moon, that means new year. These months of men, these new years of men. So that's what he was talking about in Isaiah. I'm gonna bless this out according to the blessing that was given in the book of Numbers, given to Moses to bless the people in the book of Numbers, chapter 6, verse 23 to 26. Receive your blessing. May Yahuwah bless you, barak you, and guard you. May Yahuwah make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. May Yahuwah lift up his face upon you and give you peace. Till next time, peace, love, Shabbat shalom, peace.